watching The Chew, Orange Media Network's official news show. I'm Andre Bedoya Bunch. Our first story for tonight. Last weekend, Oregon State University's theater department presented the Student One Act Festival, featuring the writing and directing work of OSU students Lexi PM and The Story.
Every year, the Oregon State University's theater department presents the annual Student One Act Festival, where student directors from the directing series of classes can display their skills by working and collaborating with the various student actors that come and audition for the shows. Every other year, they change this series of courses. This year's lineup of student-written one-acts included The Beast of Chatterford, written by Harmony Brady, Vertigo as Alexandria Burns, written by Julia Good, Unrequited, written by Aaron Leonard Graham, and Estranged, written by Sam Fearle. The One Act Festival this year was presented at Compton Family Winery from May 29th to June 1st. Since 2022, Oregon State University Theater hasn't had a defined place to perform, while Whitcomb Hall has been under renovations. Although Prax opened recently, the show did not run there due to its availability as a performing space. Each of the directors shared what their processes are and their experiences directing.
I have never done this before, so I've been asking lots and lots of questions of directors around me. And so far it's been getting to know my actors, getting to know what they need from me as a director, and then using the script to try to make the best story possible.
I was trying to be a lot more actor-focused this year. I get through blocking as quickly as possible because I don't like blocking, and then I move on to the interesting stuff. Like this is the world that's in my mind. We're all going to be knights, and we have kind of drama, but it's silly and goofy and Monty Python-esque. And so pulling in those visual inspirations and those style inspirations, like Monty Python played a big role in mine, but also things like that one episode of The Backyardigans where it's Robin Hood the Clean and everything's really gross in that town. And there's one person who likes clean things. And so it's pulling all those together so that you have a cohesive vision.
The dramatists, also known as the playwrights, also shared their process and how they approach writing a play and where the basis of their plays comes from.
I tend to write a lot from personal experience, and so I'll figure out a theme and then something in my own life to kind of anchor in, kind of like the root, and then I work outwards from there. And that's where I start to develop like characters and plot and go through a couple drafts. And I like to play with what characters are saying versus what they actually mean. And that's something that like comes up a lot with like Vertigo, for example. It's a very conceptual piece. And so there's a lot of like characters are saying something, but what are they actually talking about underneath?
My process is just like write whatever's on your mind. Write it down and then go back to it and change things and then rework it and put things in order the way you think they should be. Sometimes you have to like start from the end. If you're like, okay, this is how I want to end. This is what I have in my mind. How do we start there to get there?
For this year, instead of the directing courses, the theater department taught the playwriting series.
On years when it's the part of the directing sequence, the directors will be like taking the advanced directing class, basically. So it's directors that have gone through that sequence. And this year, because it is a year of the playwriting sequence, the spring course is called Directors and Dramatists, where we pair student directors with student playwrights who have written and workshopped their plays through the previous two quarters. And so all the directors that we have this year have previously taken the directing sequence. And so most of them had directed one acts before or something else here at the University Theater.
Like a well-oiled machine, theater is constructed through a team of people churning and creating something beautiful.
I'll take like the sense of pride in like doing my absolute best for a project and kind of that work ethic from theater and apply it. This is the thing that brings me joy in my life and I love doing it. And it's really cool to see your creation come to life from like the very start to the very finish. And on a more kind of technical level, it teaches you a lot about rolling with the punches.
One of my big takeaways is that with practice, I'm getting a lot more confident in my abilities or my capabilities as a director. I feel like I've still made some mistakes along the way, but nothing that's like life-ending or anything.
And it makes me more confident to take risks as an author and more confident to like take on more costume design and really like explore that and trust that people are going to find what they need to find in it.
This is huge. This will give me more opportunities in the future to like collaborate with people and work on other projects and for my resume and to make more stories.
The directors and dramatists, when interviewed, each complimented their respective partner and actor. The One Act Festival is a great demonstration of how theater builds community.
To see the work of so many students come together. Grab your magic wands and pointed hats for this next story. It was a musical Sunday last weekend. A community-organized Hobbit market took place in McNary Field. The students, community members, and artists came together to trade trinkets, create fantastical art pieces, and perform lively tunes. A few dozen community members attended, arriving dressed as wizards, elves, and mushroom folk. We spoke with Cypress Whitaker, a student at OSU, who gave us a little more context.
It actually started last year, I believe. Someone had put out flyers around campus to meet like short haul for a Hobbit fair, and I guess we got rained out, so we went to the SCC Plaza, and I don't know. So I don't know who started it, but someone just put posters up around campus last year, and everyone showed up. I love fantasy. I love Lord of the Rings. I love being weird. It's just a ton of fun to have an excuse to dress up and show up with my friends and trade, stuff that I made or stuff that I don't want, and just, it's very much this idea of like one man's trash, another man's treasure, and I don't know, I love that. And it's so much fun seeing everyone dressed up and all the cool stuff. The posters show up, you see them around campus, just come on. Honestly, I think there should be more community events. People just put up posters and, a lot of times people come, they're interested. We have a big community.
While it's unknown who organized the event, in campus-wide flyers advertising event, they clearly captured that community attention. We spoke to El Kojima, an undergrad studying food science, describing their experience.
I saw a flyer around campus. I saw one last year, but I didn't have the chance to go, so it just seemed like a great excuse to dress up and bake some bread. I think you should check it out. It's a lot of fun and great community.
Though the event appears to have concluded for the year, witches and mushroom folk, keep an eye out. You never know when you might next stumble upon the next Hobbit market. Stick around. After the break, we'll hear from our weather and sports correspondents on the latest in the air and on the field. Very cool.
Really in there.
Yes.
Give it a press like at the base.
Hello, baddies. How's it going? Okay, then Alex and I'll do that.
Amazing.
I also did bring my fisheye lens, if that's
intriguing. I love that. Like straight face kind of.
There's a lot of blue, but then there's a lot of interesting.
Not like getting rid of this face.
You have to match this, right? It's like transformations. It's gonna be an image, and then it's gonna be like torn diagonally, revealing another image underneath it. Do you see it? Did you see it? Yeah.
No, it's like what's the color? Oh, like close like that? Yeah.
Big off pocket.
Big off pocket.
You should make a big off pocket on something.
Let me know if I need to move my hands, because I really
So we got some of those, like when you look up a little bit. Really like in the middle of her face.
I just don't think
If it could be not in the middle of her face, that would be good.
Is it giving this the magazine?
No, but it's
no.
It's cooler than that though.
It's cooler than that? Yes. We had blue.
Hey.
How do you feel about Damn Chique's first viral video?
I feel amazing about it. Had to turn off my notifications on Instagram. I think refreshing my Instagram to see how many views Kilogram has replaced the void of pressing TikTok for me.
So yeah, these are our posters. And even like clock that I made that reference on.
In the front.
Don't video that.
Welcome back from the break. We're finally seeing that spring weather and those nice sunshines. Speaking of weather, we have Lily Goodyear.
Thank you so much, Andre. Let's take a quick look into what the following week has in store for us. I did take a quick hike into the McDonald Research Forest a couple days ago. Absolutely beautiful. I live in an awesome historic home, but that means no air conditioning. I needed a little break from the heat. Take a forestry student with you. I got to learn all of the perfect spots and the wonderful shaded hiking spots. And a live look here at a roof camera on Channel 26 KBVR TV studios. Clear skies, absolutely beautiful, a little bit of wind, nothing crazy, and some satellite imaging. As you can see, a couple of clouds coming in from the coast. They won't be across the whole state of Oregon, but otherwise beautiful weather as normal. A couple clouds in the Willamette Valley, but wonderful weather across the whole state of Oregon, especially this time of year. Our fire map. I know we're getting into hiking camping season, but I hope all of you take a quick look at that fire map and pay attention. This green, we are right now in a very low to moderate chance of fire, but that purple up in Salem, we're jumping into a higher chance of fire. Make sure we're only burning fires in that designated fire zone. And what we've all been waiting for, our 5-day forecast, Tuesday today. Absolutely beautiful, a high of 75, a low of 44. Like I said, take advantage of the wonderful sun, maybe go outside. I know we're going to final season. I'll be making sure to take a blanket out on the MU lawn, bring a book with you, or just take a break. And then Wednesday, tomorrow, dropping into 70, a couple more clouds, nothing crazy. We have a low of 52. I'm not sure if all of you are keen on evening hikes. I personally love them, and that low 52 is perfect for me. Thursday, back up to 75, clear skies, low of 48 in the evening. Get prepared to roll into those graduate party seasons because Friday we're looking at a high of 80. We're looking at a UV index of 8 to 9 into the following weeks. So make sure you dress accordingly, make sure you're applying that sunscreen, stay hydrated so we can party all weekend. And then Saturday, jumping up to 85, but we have a couple more clouds and a low of 53. Congratulations to all the seniors graduating, but make sure you prepare for those grad parties, those pride events going into the summer. Congratulations for the last time. I'm your weather correspondent, Lily. Thank you to KBVR TV for everything you have given me. Catch me on the big screen in a couple years. I will always give KBVR TV a shout out. Thank you so much. Back to you, Andre.
Thanks, Lily. And here's wishing you good luck to all your future endeavors. We know you'll change more than just the climate. We now move to sports correspondents Nick Munoz and Ethan Browning. It's time for Sports Bites.
Thanks, Andre. And welcome to Sports Bites. First up, Beaver baseball. The season just came to its grand conclusion 3 weekends ago. A lot of memories to unpack, but for starters, the Beavers still managed to win over 40 games this last season with a positive win record on the road, at home, and also at neutral sites. Ethan, they also managed to go 8th overall ranked in the country according to the NCAA.
That's right, Nick. OSU started out their preseason really strong. They won their first 5 games in a row, and then going into the regular season, they had a short stint home where they won all 9 of their games in their March homestand, which is pretty impressive. Going into the continuation of the season, they still stayed fairly competitive, although they did have a losing series against Nebraska and the notorious 4-loss streak against Oregon. Yeah. However, despite these losses, OSU still managed to prove that they can compete with nationally ranked competitors with a win against UCLA 7-1 and a winning series against UC Irvine.
Well, as we previously said in the opening, there's a lot of memories to unpack. So, Ethan, what moment stands out the most to you as the defining 2025 Oregon State Beaver baseball moment?
Honestly, this past weekend, the Corvallis Regional really stands out to me, especially the Sunday rematch against St. Mary's. OSU had a crushing 9-run inning in the 6th with guys like Ivar Arquette, Trent Carraway, Wilson Weber, all scoring runs. And if that wasn't enough, in the 9th inning, they scored 6 more runs to end the game 20-3. It was pretty brutal. What about you, Nick?
Well, you know, I have a lot, but against a bitter rival like Washington State at home, Jacob Krieg's 2-run home run win as a walk-off in the rain at home, it's overall a fantastic moment, and it gives a lot of momentum for your fans to want to come back out and support, and is a great overall memory. Now, of course, we would be remiss to not bring up the fact that the Beavers just hosted and won a regional series against several opponents, with the last 4 games seeing a 50-6 point differential in favor of the Beavers. Looking ahead toward the future of the season, Ethan, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you in the Beavers' postseason chances of making it to Omaha, and overall, why?
Absolutely, Nick. Right now, I'd give the Beavers a 7 out of 10 to make it past the Supers into Omaha. They're going against Florida State University. It's not going to be easy. They had a great season in a very difficult ACC conference. However, OSU has the home field advantage, which I think is going to be the difference maker. Right now, OSU wins 7-1 when they're at home, but they're sitting right about 2-1 when they're away, and so they're much better when they're at home. And so I think, as you mentioned, those huge games we won, big differentials, OSU is going to be so amped up coming off of those wins. And I think that's what's going to give them the edge over FSU to, I think, probably go to Omaha.
Next, we have a quick one before we send it back. Beaver football. As the summer approaches, off-season OTAs will soon to begin, along with a lot of the transfers coming over and soon to make their debuts this summer. Who are you the most excited to see make their debut in the Orange and Black for these walkthroughs and off-season practices?
I'm really excited to see this kid, Jake Normoyle. He's this local kid from Portland, just down the road, and he's an offensive guard. At 6'4", 300 pounds, I think he can play with the big boys. I think he can be a real competitor, and it's always exciting to see a team beef up their O-line.
As for me personally, I like Blue Dantzler a lot. You know, this kid, we found him out in the desert, 10th ranked player in Arizona State. When you look at him, personally, for a philosophy of mine, you can never have too many good edges for a team. Being able to get after the quarterback is essential for a Trent Bray defense, and when you have a player of Blue's talent, he really can make or break a defense when it comes to how impactful he can be and overall how much you can get him involved in your game. He also has the perfect football name, Blue Dantzler. Like, that is an amazing name that you would like have plastered everywhere. Blue Dantzler really whirls off the tongue there. And as we look ahead toward the season, as for your expectations, with the summer OTAs, as I said, again, shortly to begin, we're only inching closer toward the actual season. So when you look toward the regular season, what could you expect from this Oregon State team, and who will you think will be able to take that leap toward a starting position?
I think OSU has a real chance to do well. Looking at their schedule, there's a couple teams that I think will give them trouble. Their opening game against California might be difficult. Of course, the rivalry game against Oregon will probably be difficult. However, I think a lot of the opponents the Beavers have a real shot against. With Malik Murphy and all these new guys coming in, it's going to be a fairly young team, you know, and seeing how cohesive they are and how well they can play together, it's going to be really interesting. So these first couple games are going to really set the tone for the entire season. But I think if they pull it off, they can have a really successful run.
Well, and then you also have to look at the new opponents they'll be getting. The Pac-12 will have some new additions such as Utah State, Colorado State, Boise State, Fresno State, and San Diego State. We're going to become the state conference, basically, but we're also going to have to play Washington State and Oregon as well. So the 2026 schedule will eventually we'll eventually see a lot harder opponents come for us, as we're going to have to see what this team is made of this year and move forward from there. But that's all the time we have. Thank you. Back to you, Andre.
Thanks, Nick and Ethan. After break, lizards, snakes, and crocodiles, I get to sit down with the vice president of the Herpetology Club and talk about his club.
Are you guys ready for Damn Jam?
Beaver Nation!
Jam Jam is an awesome experience like no other.
It really feels like there's a full festival happening in the middle of campus.
Jam Jam is a huge concert that OSUPC puts on at the end of the year. I think students are really excited. They'll be excited for the big crowd, the big national headliner.
Can't say who, but we have a really exciting artist coming.
We're also incorporating KBVR and having some local bands there as well. Jam Jam is on May 30th, 2025 from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. and it's free for all OSU students.
We haven't done Jam Jam like this in a few years, and I'm really excited to just see the smiles on people's faces and hopefully get to connect them with an artist they already love or a new artist.
I think it's just a moment for students to feel rewarded for all the work that they're putting in here on campus.
We really believe that music brings people together and brings communities together. We want every student to be able to come enjoy the food trucks, enjoy games, and listen to some music.
All right, we go live in 5, 4,
Ready, camera 2. And wipe it.
Welcome to KBVR TV. Come join our team.
Welcome back from the break. With me is Jayshawn Talbert. He's a friend of mine as well as the outgoing vice president of the Herpetology Club. Herpetology being the study of amphibians and reptiles like lizards, snakes, salamanders, and frogs. Before we begin, we'd like to disclose that the producer has a personal relationship with one of the club officers. We discovered this after selecting the Herpetology Club as a guest. So, Jayshawn, welcome in. Do you want to give us a little introduction on who you are for the Herpetology Club and how you got involved?
Of course. Hi, I'm Jayshawn, and I'm so happy to be on the CHU. I am the outgoing vice president for the Herpetology Club, and I'm a second-year Fisheries, Wildlife, and Conservation Sciences student here at OSU.
Awesome. When it comes to being fisheries and wildlife and the Herpetology Club, what kind of really piqued your interest in getting involved?
Well, even before I started at OSU, I was always really big into herps, whether it be lizards, salamanders, or snakes. Snakes were my favorite. I mean, I even have a snake tattoo on my forearm. So when I came to campus and I was going around the club fairs, I saw a Herpetology Club and I was like, what? That's so cool. And that's kind of how I got in touch that way. And then I ended up being one of the event coordinators, and then I was vice president this year. So that's kind of how I got involved.
I mean, it's a pretty good way to step your way up. What kind of events has the Herpetology Club been able to host this year?
Yeah, we've hosted quite a bit of events. We hosted a couple of workshops in fall term, I believe, and then we did a lot of collaborations, or at least a few collaborations with bird nerds. We did some trips out to Finley Wildlife Refuge just outside of Corvallis. We did lots of Mary's Peak trips to go look for some large salamanders in some pretty rainy weather. But our standard kind of event is just to walk along campus way by the covered bridge, because depending on what the weather is, we could get lots of frogs, lots of salamanders, or different kinds of snakes. And I'm a big fan of the snakes, which is why I'm so excited that it's warm outside.
I know, a lot of changing weather lately.
Oh yeah.
Have you guys been able to take advantage of the sunny weather? How often do you guys meet?
Yes, we have taken advantage of the sunny weather. We just wrapped up our last walk last week, and we did end up seeing a racer, which is a really cool type of snake that is very seldom caught, but caught on camera. But we did have a chance to see that, so that was pretty exciting. And we kind of meet as frequently as we can. This year was kind of a transition period for our leadership team. We just had some folks dipping in and out because circumstances happen, life happens. So we've just been kind of in a transition phase as a club. So our events aren't super regular, but we do try to meet at least once every 2 weeks, for sure. And we hope to be more regular, given we have a full leadership team going into next year.
Okay, given the transitional period you're in the new leadership team, I know you're currently the outgoing vice president. How do you kind of hope to help them in their transitional period and stay involved as you continue your studying?
Okay, yeah, that's a great question. So I am, like I said, the outgoing vice president, so I will no longer be on the leadership team come next year. However, as a part of my responsibilities for this term, I put together position descriptions for the next leadership team and just listed their responsibilities and things like that. And I'm also going to facilitate an introduction over email with our faculty advisor so that the new leadership team knows that we've got an amazing faculty advisor at our disposal. And while I won't be able to be on the leadership team next year, I'm fully capable and I'm confident that the new leadership team will take the club to new heights, and I still hope to be involved with the club in some respects. I just don't really have a lot of time anymore with my research and my work kind of taking more of my time next year.
Yeah, and that's justified. Things obviously fluctuate with research coming up and different things to change. When it comes to students getting involved with the Herpetology Club, what ways might you suggest they try and get involved or find you online?
Yeah, of course. I think that if people want to find us, one, good on them for wanting to get involved, and you can find us at Herpetology Club of .osu on Instagram, and there is a Discord link in that Instagram in our Instagram bio, and that's kind of where we do a lot of our announcements. That's where you can chat with lots of people from honestly all across the country. We've got quite a few eCampus members in that Discord as well. And like any other club on campus, you can find us on Ideologic, just at Herpetology Club at OSU. And if you sign up and register to be a member on Discord on Ideologic for free, you'll get access to our listserv, which gives you access to when you'll know our events are and other kinds of announcements from the president and other positions.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jayshawn. And that's all the time we have. Thank you so much for tuning into The Chew this year. It's been an honor serving as both your anchor and as a reporter for you guys. My name is Andre Bedoya Bunch. Have a great night, guys, and have a great year.